this video is for the worksheet 4-6 for the class Discovering Pre-Algebra on outschool.com. If you're in this class, you know the drill. Go ahead and pause and grade your paper. If you're not in the class, you can be a part of the class if you just follow the link to OutSchool and look up Discovering Pre-Algebra, Part 1. All right, so we are evaluating expressions. That means whatever x equals gets substituted back into the expression. So in this one, and let me zoom in because I've had a couple of mistakes because I just cannot seem to see those. I made the worksheet too small and I can't seem to see all those negatives. So let's zoom in really big. All right, in this first one, I'm substituting 3 into the expression. So everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put a 3. 3 minus 5, we should remember from our integers unit, is -2. All right, in this one, x equals -2, so I'm going to substitute that in for x. And then -2 plus 16 is going to equal 14. Think I'm at -2 degrees and the temperature goes up 16 degrees. I'm now at 14. Visualize that number line. And this one I'm going to put a -1 in for x. Now look here, because there was a negative in the expression and a negative where I was substituting, I have a double negative, and that is going to go to positive. So now I just add from left to right and I get 12. All right, this one we're going to have some order of operation in it. Got to do that multiplication before I can do the rest. All right, so that multiplication is 14. Now I can just add and subtract from left to right. 14 plus 9 is 23. Minus 8 is going to be 15. Plus 7 is going to be 22. All right, for this one, x equals 5. So everywhere that I have an x, I'm going to put a -5. And I need to make sure that I put those in parentheses because in this one, that means multiplication. Okay, what's going on here is multiplication. What's going on here is multiplication. So 2 times -5 is a -10. -5 times a -5 is a +25. Okay. And if I do -10, if I owe -$10, but I have $25, after I pay off my debt, I only have $15. All right, I got to do that parentheses first. So -12 plus 6 is going to give me a -6. Then I have to do the multiplication second, which is going to give me a -12. And then I can subtract those 2 negative numbers, which is basically adding up my debt, and I owe $21. Two more. All right, a negative and a positive make a negative. So I'm just going to clean that up first. I'm going to do what's in my parentheses. If it's at -3 degrees and the temperature drops 12 degrees, I'm now at a -15 degrees. 2 times a -15 is going to give me a -30 minus 3 more, dropping 3 more is going to give me a -33. All right, for this one, x equals 1/4. All right, so I'm going to set up all my fractions. Next thing I'm going to do is put a 1 underneath my whole numbers. Remember, I can change my whole numbers into fractions by putting a 1 underneath it. Now let's do the multiplication. I have 2 sets of multiplication. So 2 over 1 times 1 over 4 is 2 over 4. 3 over 1 times 1 over 4 is 3 over 4. Look, common denominator, so I don't want to reduce. Instead, I want to give this one a denominator of 4, which means multiplying top and bottom by 4. Now that I have everything in a common denominator, I can just add and subtract the numerators left to right. So 2 minus 3 is -1, plus 48 is 47, plus 1 is 48 over 4. Well, 4 goes into 48 12 times. All right, I hope to see you in my next class. I hope you enjoyed this one. And until then, keep discovering, keep learning.